When I was a child, God told me stories.
Stories. Recently, I've become very captivated by the beta game that is No Rest for the Wicked. All games tell a story, and especially with the art form that is games in the modern day, there are a lot of talented people collaborating to tell you that story. Particularly, what I found interesting while I've been diving into No Rest for the Wicked is that on closer inspection, the story you are being told doesn't necessarily line up with the story you are being shown. That's what I want to talk about, and it's what I want to dive deeper into today. Welcome to No Rest for the Wicked. A gorgeous classical painting given the form of a game that isn't about you. How No Rest for the Wicked uses lighting, framing, and shape language to tell you that really, you are not the hero of this story. To start off with, I would love to take a little step back to talk about visual language. Games in the modern day have graphics that allow for vast amounts of storytelling and mood setting in the way that they are visually presented. As an example, the breathtaking vastness of feudal Japan in Ghost of Yotei tells you a story of the land all on its own. The graphics are realistic, grounded, and at the same time they're dramatic. It helps tell and support the story of this feudal warrior in a land distantly far away from here in a time long ago, both on a conscious and a subconscious level. A second example is the grotesque use of color in claustrophobic spaces, clutching fog banks in Silent Hill F that delivers both a sense of awe as well as an immediate reflection on what horrors you can expect out of your character's journey. The nauseating monsters that strike a fine line between beauty and dread emphasize the same story. It's a story of fear, uncertainty, and being unsettled at every turn. They support the story and the character's journey, and they lay emphasis on what matters. In No Rest for the Wicked, your story plays out from your viewpoint, the viewpoint of the Seren, a warrior of ancient legend that is said to be capable of driving back the horrors of the world, and legend capable of stopping the pestilence. At the start of the game, you're brought to the island of Sakra, ahead of the Inquisition that arrives there and it intends to deal with the pestilence on its own accord. You meet the locals, and quickly you find out about their agendas, their woes, and their struggles on this horrible island of danger and rot. But while it's a horrid place, for them, that horrid place is home. It's a bit of your typical Dark Souls style lore. Things are awful, they're terrible, and you're the one-in-a-million warrior of legend set to an impossible mission of stopping it all. So the story is about you, about the hero. So here's where we're quickly taking another detour, and it's one that's quite essential to underline and show how incredibly talented, deliberate, and thought through each and every shot, frame, lighting decision, and character moment is for the studio and the studio's artists. I'm about to show a little snippet of an interview with the game's lead game developer, Thomas Mahler, about where the game's visual inspiration comes from.
I'm studying the art style of No Rest for the Wicked right now, and please, I want to break down what the brand identity is, and why it is so cohesive. Because I'm fascinated by the art style. I've never really seen a game with this art style before. So like super vibrant greens, right? Just insane levels.
Yeah, you know who we are ripping off with that?
Who?
Caravaggio.
Caravaggio was a master painter who was primarily known for his use of strong contrast, lighting, saturated colors, and hyper-clear focus in each of his compositions. The main character, or main emphasis of the shot, is depicted in saturated colors and bright lighting. The rest of the shot, and in particular the evil within the shot, is portrayed in dark tones, almost blending into their own shadow. Now, the game indeed resembles his paintings. Stark contrasts in every shot and scene, saturated colors in the areas where they want you to look, mixed with deep black shadows in the parts that are less important, and bold, dramatic lighting on the main focal point of each painting, of each frame, of each cinematic, and each shot in the game. The main guiding line of where the artists want the players to look next and to guide them. Now, armed with this knowledge, I would love to take a look at the key story moments that develop during the flow of the game. These are the parts where the essence of Sakra's entire story unfolds. So let's have a look.
Father's soul is at rest now, King Magnus. The people look to you for strength.
I offer my condolences and my counsel, as I did for your father for
The
many
great
years.
pestilence has returned, Lord Bowers.
Yes, I have heard the rumors.
They're not rumors. Even now, it ravages the island of Sakra just off our own shores, turning their men and women into unspeakable things.
The pestilence is a punishment upon those who have lost their faith. I promise we will cleanse the island of this wickedness. Our new king's faith in the church is well placed.
Our king's faith was never in question. Ellsworth is a strong ruler, Your Grace. Sakra will recover.
No. Sakra will be reborn.
They have come, Master. From across the sea.
The pestilence. It festers. Everything it touches.
Did you not hear? The Serum have arrived.
They won't come. Never answer.
God's reach. They're already here.
Governor Ellsworth.
Madrigal Celine, I apologize for the lack of a formal welcome. If you sent word, it must have been lost.
A welcome sight, though, aren't they? About time Phelan sent reinforcements.
My Inquisition is here as an act of mercy, Baron Winnick. There is an unholy presence on this island. I have come on behalf of King Magnus, who sent me...
King Magnus? The boy?
Forgive me. I thought you had heard. Your brother, the king, has passed.
The gate to the holy city did not fall shut without reason. The ancients built it to defend against the plague.
The ancients are dead, Governor. It's our duty, not theirs, to save the people of Caelin. Can you not hear them yourself, crying out for help, calling us through the stone?
I hear nothing. The mountain won't yield to your words the way men do.
Of course it will. All I need is someone who speaks its language.
Notice something? You're not there. And perhaps even more importantly, when you are cloaked in shadow, desaturated, and not center frame.
Of course. You're like a pebble in this island.
Looking at all of the symbolism that is present within the game, every character has a clear role within the story, visually and narratively.
Why are you here?
Each of them are further enhanced by the strong compositions and color themes for each character, and it becomes very hard to believe that with this much emphasis, any part of the artist's shot are not made with deliberate purpose. Every animation sells the status and the power of individual in frame. Every spotlight highlights the madrigal's confident demeanor when she is shown, time and time again, surrounded by red and flame within the cutscenes. Every lighting decision, action sequence, and splash of color shows the rambunctious and defiant nature of Odessa. Within the story, at each and every turn, there is consistency everywhere. And every time the story moves forward, you're a spectator of those people, with feelings, goals, and intent. As the story progresses, you quickly shift from being the main character to becoming Sakra's tool. You are not in control of the events that unfold around you. You experience them. Or do you? Taking this story one step further, all of the chaos that has happened around the island since your arrival has been under your witness, and partially at your hand. There is not a single individual that you've saved throughout the entire progression of the story. You are Serim. You are a warrior. You kill. You've given closure to those who remain alive, perhaps, but never sanctuary, never safety, never life. If the game's artists are trying to tell us anything, you are a tool cloaked in shadow. You are the evil of Sakra. No Rest for the Wicked is still awaiting its official release. All we know of the story is what we've been shown so far, but if my hunch is right, the artists have been laying the subtle Caravaggio breadcrumbs throughout this entire experience. Sakra is falling. It's beginning to crumble at the seams since you've arrived at the beginning of the story. And you might just be the influence and the instrument of its eventual demise. I look forward to experiencing the rest of the game when it eventually releases, and I will be fascinated to see where the artists go next. Thank you for listening.